A friend of mine once said, love is more important than how you happen to feel about something at the moment. We walk the way of love when we follow Jesus. We don't walk the way of a certain set of feelings. We're not just nice people, we Christians. We're not just kind people. We're people of compassion. Listen to this short passage from today's gospel. Jesus, he looked out on the crowd, and when he saw them, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless. He then instructed his apostles to go out into the world and do this. He gave them authority over unclean spirits to cast them out and to cure every disease and every sickness. In other words, he says to them, look at what the world is like and let it matter to you so deeply that you cannot do anything other than do something about it. Following Jesus is to be the embodiment of love. The proclamation he gave them to share with everybody was that the kingdom of heaven has drawn near. And I want you to think about that for just a minute. Jesus wants us, just by showing up, to give people the sense that the kingdom of heaven has drawn near. We're Jesus's ambassadors in this world. We come bearing the greatest gift that there is, the gift of God's love for God's creation. We are sent people. That's who we are. We're apostles. That word apostle, I've shared with you before, means sent, right? Ultimately, it's derived from the verb to send. And we are sent to proclaim the resurrection. That the worst thing is never the last thing. That everything that is wounded will be healed. That everything that is broken will be mended. That's who we are, we followers of Jesus. We are people sent into the world to proclaim that. And we are saying empty words unless we are people of compassion. You know, there's a difference between compassion and sympathy. Sympathy is just looking at somebody and saying, wow, that's really awful, too bad for you. Compassion, by contrast, is showing up and saying, I might not know exactly how this feels, but I know it's really hard for you. And I'm not going to leave you alone in it. I'm going to be right here with you. And we're going to walk through this thing together. Because I believe, and I'm willing to share my belief with you, with my body, my presence, my life, I believe that God's going to make something out of this. That this broken, shattered place is not the whole story. That there will be wholeness. We're in kind of a broken, shattered place right now in the United States. Let's face it, the pandemic is not over. A lot of people are acting like it. They're not wearing masks and they're going to parties and there's in crowded swimming pools. And in a way, I sort of hope they're right. But the scientists are telling us they're probably not. In fact, COVID is still here. Instances are increasing. And it's anticipated that there will be a resurgence in the fall. And a lot of us are aware of that. But we're growing really tired. And another thing we're growing really tired of is the violence and the hatred of the racism that's so deeply embedded in this nation. We've been fighting it for a really, really long time, and we've been inhabiting it for a really long time. That's why there are protests around the nation, not just the death of George Floyd, but the many deaths that have occurred and the structural injustices that exist. You know, understand, racism isn't about just how you feel about people with black or brown skin. As a matter of fact, I don't know a whole lot of people that just hate black people. And you know what? I really don't. But what I do see around me is a system that disadvantages some people and advantages other people in a very systematic way. If you want to read more about that, just go over to my blog and take a look at my latest article about how we start healing. Listen, I'm not calling you a racist if what you believe racism to be is a kind of a negative attitude toward people of a different race and even a hatred of them. I know a lot of you, and I know that that's not how you feel about things. I'm not talking about your feelings. I'm talking about actually the society and the economy and the political structure that you and I inherited and that we can do something about. Because I really believe in my heart of hearts that those of us who have felt the love of Jesus want everybody to feel that love. And we're willing to work together to make this world a place where that becomes a reality for each and every one of God's children. We've got a long way to go, but I believe through the power of God that we will get there. We're sent to be, those kingdom of heaven people. We're sent to be resurrection people. We believe that as deadly as COVID can be, as deadly as racism can be, we believe that deadliness doesn't hold a candle to the infinite power of God's love. God's love even brings the dead to life. Like my friend said, love is too important. It's a whole lot more than how you happen to feel about something. We're sent into this world to be emblems of love, the love that brings life out of death.